Salute, BookTube. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. Those eagle-eyed of you will know that this video is a little bit, I've changed slightly my filming location, very slightly, ever so slightly. I usually film just a couple of feet or just a couple of feet to the right to use the non-metric system. Usually I film there. Right now I'm at the far left of my library, right at the edge on the wall here. Um, and there's a reason for that. A little bit of a special video um, I wanted to make, and this video is actually inspired by um, another booktuber who's rapidly becoming a favorite of mine, and that's Paul at the Accidental Bookseller. I think that's the name of his channel, the Accidental Bookseller. Paul recently made a video. He actually made the two videos, it was two parts of his childhood books. Um, he had his childhood books had been stored, if I remember correctly, somewhere hidden, an attic or something. And then he very recently came across it, and he hadn't seen the books in so long. And he just went through them live on camera without very much preparation. He just opened the boxes and started to look at it. And it was very fun to watch, just the emotions and the memories that come flooding back when you do something like that. Watching Paul's video, I thought to myself, maybe I want to do something like that. I want to do something similar. And luckily for me as well, I have preserved, I don't want to say all, but a lot of my childhood books are still, they haven't been gotten rid of or um, thrown out or anything like that. I actually still have a lot of them. Um, And like Paul, although I think Paul's was hidden, and mine I've dedicated a couple of shelves on my library for my childhood books. Um, and so although I do see them every day and they're there in front of me, I actually haven't, for a very, very long time, really haven't gone through them very closely, very thoroughly. They've always been here at the far end of my library and they've been ignored. When I first set up this library, I just put all the childhood books there. I didn't even go through them one by one, just um, dump them there just to keep it as a memory. So, although it might not be as big a surprise as Paul's video, and I highly recommend you watch Paul's video because it's really it's just done raw live, just opening them, and you can see his facial reaction. Mine isn't that as surprising, but like I said, I haven't gone in depth through most of these books in a long time. So maybe maybe a similar effect to Paul's. We'll see. We'll see. So because there's actually quite a few books, I don't know if I can do all of them. I think because I've got one, two, actually three shelves. The third shelves are bigger books and series, so there's not that many books, but they're big. So there's, I'd say, two and a half. I don't think I can do all of it in one video. It'll take long. Maybe I can do one shelf, and then we can. I don't know. We'll see. If you guys enjoy this, I'll make a part two. If we do the part one, start with the part one. I think I just took a quick peek before I started recording, and I can tell just by looking. The part one, the early books are more children's books. This is children from like really basic stuff, I believe, until sort of early elementary school. And then the next shelf are a bit older. I want to say late elementary, middle school ish. Um, Although young adult, which a term which didn't exist when I was growing up. I never heard young adult or YA books. But I don't think we reach YA here because for those of you who are regulars of my channel, they know my reading history. I was a very, not very prolific, but I was into reading when I was younger. Um, and it really ended at high school. Once I entered secondary school, um, junior high and high school for you Americans, my reading completely went blank. Um, and then I got back into reading once I went to university. That's when the passion for reading came back to me. So all that is to say is these books are again from my youngest days to about, I don't know, um, the age of 11, 12, because that's when the reading slump began for me. The other thing I just wanted to say before we do start is these are not all my books. Like Paul's video, Paul had a lot of books that were childhood books of his, but they were also childhood books of his parents, and I believe some were even his grandparents, if I'm not mistaken. So it wasn't all his books, and it's the same case with me. Some of these books are not going to be mine personally. They include my sister. I have an older sister and a younger brother. I'm a middle child, so there's going to be probably a lot of my sister, because my sister, we were a bit closer in age, so our books are sort of mixed. Um, but that might be a good thing. So you get a bit of diversity, not just my reading taste, but also you'll get an idea of my sister's. My sister was also like me, I think, like every child, into reading, but she never picked up the reading. I mean, I'm talking about her in her adult life. She's not our kind of reader. She never rekindled her passion from her childhood. So, I mean, she reads, but she doesn't read like us. And then I've got a younger brother. There might be some of my younger brother's books here. We'll see as we go through them. But the first book I have to start with, because early in Paul's video, just as he's going through them, he found a book that was a sort of I don't know what you call them, like they're like tie-ins for the World Cup. So he showed a book that was it was like a guide to the 1978 World Cup, if I'm not mistaken, 1978. Um, and he showed that book, and he had mentioned he said that the first World Cup he remembers is the 1974 World Cup. He has vague memories of that, but 1978 was his real first World Cup. Most Americans, I'm talking about the soccer, most Americans probably don't know about the World Cup, but they happen every 4 years, and it's a huge extravaganza. Um, Probably non-American sports fans will know, or soccer fans will know what I'm talking about. I had the same thing, although I think there's a generation difference between me and Paul, maybe. Uh, but I had a similar thing. I remember my first World Cup, I remember, was the 1990 World Cup, which was held in Italy. But very vague memories. I was very young. Too young. I probably even the memories I have were recordings after the actual event. My first World Cup, and this one I must have been 9, 10 years old, was this World Cup 1994. Uh, so this is you can see you've got it was held in the United States, and you can see the American flag right there. Uh, and this is a ladybird book. You can see a lot of ladybirds here, especially for my very young book collection. Um, and yeah, so this is the first World Cup I remember. You can see the map of the world. It's very fragile, unfortunately. Here, it's sort of getting damaged, but you can see the famous World Cup trophy. Now, this 1994 World Cup was in America, and in 2026 is the year of another World Cup. It's going to be a World Cup year. It's a World Cup summer. And at the same, it's going to be held in the United States. I think it's being co-hosted by Canada and Mexico, but the majority of the games are going to be in America. The final is going to be in America. So it's another World Cup. Of course, the difference between 1994 and 2026 is this World Cup is going to be, it's not going to be the American, the USA World Cup held in USA. It's going to be the Trump World Cup. It's going to be the Trump World Cup. And very similar. It's gonna be like in 1936? Was it in Berlin or Munich? It was Berlin, I believe. 1936 Olympics in Berlin. That was the Hitler Olympics. Hitler had staged a spectacle for the world to show the progress of Nazi Germany. And I think that's what the 2026 World Cup is going to be. It's going to be the Trump World Cup. If I remember correctly, the 36 Olympics had the American sprinter, the black African American sprinter Jesse Owens, I believe is his name, who won the 100 meters, broke the record at the time, and there was a big PR disaster for Hitler because he was, extolling the Aryan race, and here comes a black African American who wins the 100 meters. Um, but yeah, and then 2028 is going to be an Olympic year. That's in another 2 years, and it's going to be Olympics in Los Angeles, and that's going to be a real Trump Olympics. It's going to be the MAGA Olympics in Los Angeles. So that's sad, but again, there's good memories, and just linking it with Paul's video. I think because this kind of book, you can fill in the scores, and you can put the tables. You can see my handwriting when I was a young child. Of course, Brazil won this World Cup. For those of you who are interested, not the flashiest Brazil team, a very defensively organized team, but with a hotshot striker, Romario, just a prolific scorer. Just needed half a chance, and he can score the goal. And then they played defensive, and they beat another defensive team. It was one of the more boring finals, actually, '94. Italy, which is a very defensive team as well, with the great Roberto Baggio, who missed a penalty hit. Good memories, good memories. A long time ago now. But with that cleared out of the way, we can... Okay, this is already 12 minutes. Let's see, I might make this into parts. Let's see how this goes. I'll start and we'll see. The first book we have is... Okay, this is called One Odd Old Owl. There's a tongue twister for you. 4 words that begin with O. One Odd Old Owl. And this is, again, very, very... yeah, this is a childish picture book with, childhood book. Another one, okay, this one is called Elephants Aloft. These are the 2 elephants on a balloon, written by Kathy Appelett, illustrated by Keith Baker. Okay, and this is very, very, very basic. This is supposed to be when above, because you're above in the clouds. It's strange here. They're on the cover. They're on a parachute, like a balloon, hot air balloon, and there's an anchor. But you see beside. But very nice. This is some Islamic sort of. What's the next word? Through. They're going through the clouds. Between. Okay, and on and on and on. So that's interesting. Okay, this is a scholastic book. It's Why Do Leaves Change Color? Again, I don't know how good the lighting. This is a new filming location for me, so it's by Betsy Maestro, illustrated by Loretta Krupinski. The nice colors of autumn, something I experienced when I was in, because you probably see a lot of maple leaves. I went to university in Canada, so I got to witness an autumn and what it looks like. This next one is by Paulette Bourgeois and Bill Slavin. It's called Too Many Chickens. Again, Kids Can Press is the publisher, I guess. Okay, and this one has the name of my brother, so this is my brother. This is a Canadian press. This next one is by Marcus Pfister. It's called Penguin Pete. I don't know, is Penguin Pete famous? Printed in Belgium. Yeah, I have no idea. It sounds like, or am I confusing it with somebody else? Um, this one uh, is called A Wish Too Far and Puff Cheeks Palace. It's a two-in-one, illustrated by Leslie Smith. Uh, you've got elves on the cover, so maybe a sort of early fantasy kind of thing. Well, some of these haven't been opened in years. Um, what's next? This is called The Toll Bridge Troll by Patricia Ray Wolf, illustrated by Kimberly Bulkin Root. These are nice. The illustrations here must be, because the trolls, yeah, some nice illustrations. Uh, Again, scholastic book, mostly from school, really. How Do I Love You, P.K. Hallinan. A love poem from parent to child. How sweet. Very basic, but okay, the next one is very commercial. This one is also, yeah, okay, it's a Disney book, and this also it's my brother's name. And it's got a sticker in American dollars. We mostly got this on our travels. The Hunchback of Notre Dame, the Disney. I guess it's like a tie-in. Look at the art there. The famous Victor Hugo book. This could be when we went to Disney World as a family when we were younger. I was fortunate enough to go to Disney World when I was young with my family, so it could be from there. Some nice artwork. That's what's her name? Esmeralda, I believe. Yeah, and there's the Quasimodo, the Hunchback, but from the Disney movie, the Disney cartoon from the 90s, I believe. Another one. This one is Tinker Wants to Know, Lucien Herville and Marcel Marlier. A dog and a cat that I think go on an adventure. Well, very, very young. These are early books, but there's so many of them. This one is called Sleepy Book, Charlotte Zolotov, illustrated by Ilse Plume. Okay, this one could have been mine, because there was a period in our life. My father, I don't think he bought. I think he had a friend who owned a pool table or a snooker. Was it snooker? No, probably pool. And he was moving, and he needed to dispose of the billiard table or the pool table. I think Americans call it pool, British call it billiards, or the opposite. And my dad said, "I'll just hold it for you for some reason." So it came to our house, and we just fitted it in somewhere where we could barely reach, but it was in our house for a period of time. I think we were holding it temporarily, something like that. Anyway, this book is called Snooker, Billiards and Pool, but it's made for children. So it's just some instruction, trick shots. Give you like angles. Maybe that's why I had this book, because for a short time. This one is very basic, ABC and pictures. This is like very young, alphabet sort of thing. So learning your alphabet. What's next? Nursery rhymes, also very for very young readers. Mark Brown, Arthur's First Sleepover. I think we can all maybe remember when we had our first sleepover. But it's good artwork, nice artwork, and it's not children. Well, they are children, but they're animal children: bears, rabbits, mice, that kind of thing. Cats and dogs. Blighted. I can't read the first. Is it Enid? Anyway, it's called The Bonfire Folk. A little bit dark for a children's book. Uh, Look at that guy in the back, on the back cover. Sorry about the light, but you see that? I don't know. A little dark maybe for a children's book about bonfires and anyway. Um, the next one is called. Oops. Okay, something was. Um, 1 second. I had something. Okay. The next one is The Panda Club's Treehouse by Michael Berenstein. Um, Clangers, The Tablecloth. Story by Oliver Postgate. Pictures by Peter Furman. The Tablecloth. Something about a tablecloth and some pigs going in an adventure in space with a tablecloth. Yeah, it's space. I think that's supposed to be the moon or something, but anyway, we'll keep going. Again, this must be young Peeps Pals. I don't know how famous this series is. Yeah, this is like teaching you how to read, how to count. This next one is called Franklin Fibs. It's by Paulette Bourgeois and Brenda Clark. Very nice artwork. Next, these two books I think are the same series. It's Clifford and the Big Storm, and then Clifford's Spring Cleanup, and it's by Norman Bridwell. That one was Spring Cleanup, and this one is The Big Storm. There's a whole series. Where were we? Okay, am I losing my place? The Berenstain. Oh, that's the same author we saw. Berenstain with the and the Prize Pumpkin. The Messy Room. Trouble with Friends. Sorry, the lighting is. I really need to work on the lighting because these are very nice cover photos. This next one, PJ the Spoiled Bunny by Marilyn Sadler. Illustrated by Roger Bolin. This is under my sister's name, but I guess we all read it. My brother, my sister, and I. Another sleepover book, The Toad Sleeps Over, John Bianchi. This one is called JJ the Jet Plane, Tracy's Snuggly Blanket. This has it's whose name is it under? Me and my sister probably, but it says the second grade, indicating that we're in the second grade. This one I actually remember. I remember reading this one and really liking it. It's called Look Twice, There's a Whale in My Bath. There's no author on the cover. And this is a British publication. Okay, words by A.G. Wood, pictures by Chris Forsey. Yeah, copyright 1987. I remember this as being one of the first books I read and enjoyed, and I've got pen marks. You hear splashing, splash, 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 and then you go upstairs. What's the splash, splash, splash? And then you're still. It's the morning, and you're groggy, and you're waking up. And then you find out There's a whale in my bathtub. He smiled a big smile. And it goes on and on, but you get the idea. Okay, this one's another Disney tie-in, Bambi, Friends of the Forest. Probably my sister's, yeah. It's got my sister's name on it. But I think I enjoyed it as well. Okay, and then here, this, maybe I should leave it for the next video. Maybe I should, maybe I should stop this, but if we're going at this pace, I don't know when this is gonna end. I'll say I'll stop this now, I think. And I'll make another video. This might go into multiple parts, but yeah, I'll stop it here. It's a good time to stop, I think, at the 26 minute mark. There's still a few more, young. I went very young. I started with a very young books, but I think as you progress, it's going to be older and older books. I can see Roald Dahl here. I can see that kind of thing. It sort of progresses to older age. So I think, well, I'll skip that one. Maybe we'll go to 30. 30 is a good time to stop. Let's see how much more we can do until 30th minute. And then if you guys want an encore, I'll keep going at a future video. This one is called Ruby the Car Boot Rhino. So we had whale, now we have rhino. This lighting here is terrible. This is by Rhiannon Powell. Rhiannon Powell. We saw the Bambi one. This one is called Happy Families. It's by Alan Alberg and Joe Wright. It's called Mr. Cosmo the Conjurer. That's pretty cool, actually, with the magician, the conjurer. It's a big word for a child, the conjurer. Is there any name here? There's no name. Probably all of us read this, but some nice artwork too. I might read that. There's a whole series of this called Happy Family series. Miniature masterpieces, books for your children. Again, these ones are very really young, so my memory for these are, as we get older, I start to remember more. Where we were at 28 minutes. Okay, The Slippers That Answered Back, Giles Brandreth. What's this next one? Blue Moon Valley. Essay Starts by Stephen Rabley. It's a series called Essay Starts. Essay Starts is a series of original fiction written specially for students in their first year of English. These colorful, imaginative stories are written in simple and natural English. Okay. With a very Japanese theme. You can see pagodas, and there's a panda. Sorry, is it Japanese or Chinese? Yeah, I think it's Japanese with the blossoms. I'm just looking at the pictures. It looks like Japanese art, but and then, okay, we have one more minute. This one, again, that same author. We saw this author again, but I wasn't able to read the author's name. Maybe if it's Enid Blyton, illustrated by Lynn Bars. It's called The Little Lost Hen and Other Stories. Just short stories for children, but a thick hardcover book. Also part of a series. Full of illustrations, but again, I really should read these. I should read these. Actually, to end this, I'm gonna because we're reaching the 30th minute. Paul had culminated his video about his childhood books with a plan in November, a reading project called Narnia November. So for some reason, childhood books are in his mind, and he wants to read Narnia in November. And I actually have right here, I have my series, because this is from my older top shelf, which are books when I was an older child. So I've got the whole series. Again, this lighting, the glare is, you've got the unicorn there. And I've got the entire set, it's still there, but as you can see, book one, which is a surprise, I would have thought Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe, which I read more, would be destroyed. The first book is called, see, it's destroyed. Anyway, it's that one. I forgot the title, and the title here is damaged, so it's a bit destroyed. But the other ones are in pretty good condition, not bad condition at all. So, what is that? I don't want to take it out now, but so Narnia November. I'm in, Paul. So if anybody else is, you've got until November. You've got time. I don't know if I'm going to read these because I'm scared I'm going to damage them. But I do have my Narnia collection, so I'm ready for Narnia November. And again, I want to thank Paul for making this nice video. It should be a tag, like my childhood books, for people who still have their books and want to show them. So please do check Paul's channel. I'm going to link his, because his is in two parts. This is long too. I'm gonna link them. Please do check it out. It's really fun to watch. But for now, I'm gonna pause it. If you guys are liking this, you want me to continue, I can go on. I can probably make 2, maybe even 3 further parts, 2 or 3 other videos. So let me know. Let me know. If not, and this is really boring, I understand as well. I'm not gonna take it personally. No worries. But thank you so much if you are enjoying this and you watched it to the end, and salute book 2.